I want to talk to you about Apple Pay and how the whole thing works. So, here are the generalities I want you to pay attention to. So, when you think about Apple Pay, I want you to think about a mobile wallet that takes advantage of NFC technology. Okay, so this NFC technology is also known as tap and pay. So, NFC stands for near field communication. So, near field communication and tap and pay are they mean the same thing. They are interchangeable. So when you think about Apple Pay and you think about near field communication, you have to think about a correlation here, a strongly correlated technology. So what is near field communication, you might ask? So in a nutshell, NFC is a highly secure electronic transmission that allows funds to actually pass from your bank to a retailer in exchange for a product or service in a very streamlined and automatic manner. And although most consumers don't see beyond the simple prompt and approval message, there is a lot going on behind the scenes, enabling you to make, let's say, almost every transaction seamless to make that purchase through a POS system, because it has to be a POS system that you have to actually match with Apple Pay. Okay, with NFC, customers no longer need to enter their PIN or provide a signature, but these transactions are generally considered more secure because they use the same security infrastructure that EMV or chip and pin actually employs. So this is kind of cool. Okay, this is really good. And basically, when you think about the NFC process, how the whole thing works, in short, the answer is radio frequency identification, RFID. So for starters, your credit card is actually emitting radio frequency signals to tell a card terminal that it is here, it is there. Don't worry, when we say near field, we really mean near, okay? Like 4 centimeters near, which is why you don't walk into a Best Buy and accidentally buy 10 or 12 TVs, right? Because basically things are being controlled from the back end. So when you think about Apple Pay, yes, think about Apple Pay, think about NFC, and think about like a very seamless way to actually pay for everything. So it's more like tap and pay. Tap and pay. I want to go more granular here. So how does Apple Pay work? I want to explain in granularity how the whole process works so you have a clear idea. So Apple Pay actually allows consumers with iPhones to load, quote unquote, load their various credit cards into their phone. So when ready to make a purchase, they open the wallet app and simple tap their phone against the credit card reader to pay. So that's pretty straightforward process. Now, Apple Pay is possible because iPhones and Apple Watches now come standard with an NFC chip, just like credit cards, which allow your Apple device to communicate with devices close by. So this proximity, this near field communication is really important. So when you think about tap and pay, tap into pay with a contactless enabled card, phone, Android or iPhone or wearable is becoming more and more popular, especially with the younger generation, by the way. So giving consumers the option to complete a contactless or a tap and pay purchase means that your business can complete transactions faster than with traditional payment methods. So creating a quick and easy checkout experience is sort of beneficial for businesses looking to complete customer transactions as fast as possible, such as grocery stores, quick service restaurants, and pharmacies. The last thing you want is to have a long line in your store. This is not good. You want to have a short line. So any business where customers line up can benefit from tap payments. Okay. Another industry that has experienced success with tap payments is the transit industry because it really enables consumers to pay quickly and easily while they are on the go. It's actually a preferred payment method for these consumers looking to quickly pay their bus or train fare without missing their ride. Okay, that's really important. And what you want to do here is that you want to really understand it's all about flexibility. It's all about accountability. It's all about efficiency. Okay, and according to a recent report from Visa, outside the U.S., tap and pay accounts for 2 out of 5 in-person transactions. Visa also reported that in Canada, 50 to 75% of transactions are completed using tap. And similar usage is reflected in Southeast Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and parts of Europe. The US is still lagging behind other countries for tap and pay transactions, primarily because most user cars come equipped with EMV capability, but not NFC, near field communication. The technology required to tap and pay to actually work. However, with more financial institutions in the US beginning to issue contactless cards to consumers, it is predicted that the US will quickly catch up to other countries for tap and pay purchases. So this is kind of cool. And Visa, as a matter of fact, is predicting that contactless payments will become a primary payment method worldwide over the next 3 to 5 years. Tap and pay is a secure way to make a purchase because the cards use the same EMV security that has demonstrated its ability to reduce counterfeit fraud. So that's really good. Let me explain to you how to pull up Apple Pay. I want to give you a step by step here. So what you want to do here is that first of all, when you think about having you have to head to the wallet app on your iPhone. If you don't have it, then you have to install it. Normally, it comes pre-configured, but you have to really load the funds. Otherwise, if you don't have the funds in the wallet app, you are not going to be able to use Apple Pay. So you have to make sure that your wallet app is actually configured properly on your iPhone. Okay, on your iPhone, and so you want to select Add New Card. So add new card just means that you are loading funds onto the app. What you want to do is that you want to use a card that is really that you use a lot, okay, use often. That way, the bank or a credit union is already comfortable or already familiar with you using this card for other stuff, so they might be able to approve it. Otherwise, there have been situations where the transaction didn't go through at first, so you do not want to have some kind of delay. And then you want to add your card details and save it. See, the thing is that depending on your iPhone that you might have additional security protocols to go through, but you want to add your card details and save, and you want to make sure that pay attention to the CVV numbers. The CVV numbers are pretty critical. So if you are trying to set up your Apple Pay, you want to make sure that the CVV numbers are accurate. And remember, the CVV numbers are different they're different depending on the type of card you have, whether you have Discover, Amex, you have Visa or MasterCard. And then once you add your card details and save, you want to double tap the home button to pull up your card and pay. Okay, and you might have several cards. You don't have to pay using the same card all the time. You might have different cards, so you just want to make sure that before you pay, you're comfortable that that's the card that you want to actually use to actually pay. Let me talk to you about the pros and cons here. What are the benefits of using Apple Pay this year? I want to first talk about the benefits, and then I'll speak about the limitations later on, so you have a clear idea, an unbiased view of the whole technology. So, what are the benefits of using Apple Pay? Well, Apple Pay provides a new age POS system payment experience through speed and convenience of payment, enhanced security, and you also have the fact that there is no transaction limit. I mean, let me explain. First of all, when I speak about speed and convenience of payment, you don't have to pull your wallet out of your pocket. I mean, imagine if you are in an environment where you're really worried about pickpockets, or you're worried about thieves, you're worried about your own safety, your own security, whatever. Everything is electronic, so there is no need to actually have physical cash. So that really is good because it adds an extra layer of transparency into the whole process. Next, you have enhanced security. So you don't share your credit card data, your credit card number with a retailer. So if, and God forbid, the retailer's database were compromised, your payment information would not be at risk, and the payment is encrypted. Okay, I mean, data breaches happen all the time, and you never know here. And the thing is that you have a lot of bad actors, a lot of scammers, a lot of fraudsters active on the dark web and trying to really take advantage of whatever data they have their hands on. So because you're not sharing your credit card number with the retailer, you are actually you are safe. Also, another advantage here is that you are able to. There is no transaction limit with Apple Pay. See, the whole thing is the money is coming from your card, right? The money is coming from the card that you actually have linked to Apple Pay. So there is no transaction limit, though this may vary by region. I mean, there are some geographies. Let's say Africa and Latin America, where there are regional restrictions. But overall, contrary to our contactless cards, there is no restriction limit with Apple Pay, so you have a lot more flexibility. If you have to engage, if you have to buy something like a high ticket item, you also have that flexibility. But just make sure you have the money in the card that you link to Apple Pay. So those are the benefits that you can expect when using Apple Pay. Let's talk about the limitations here. What are the cons? There are some limitations with Apple Pay, such as it only works with Apple devices, so no Androids. So basically, I mean, Android that does have a Google Pay also, but yeah, if you have an Android device, you're not going to be able to use Apple Pay at all. And not all U.S. issuing banks support it, although over 85% do. Okay, I mean, you also have some credit unions that are still lagging behind when it comes to supporting Apple Pay this year. So if you have a credit card or a debit card from from an institution that's not covered, you will not be able to actually pull Apple Pay on your phone. So this could be a bummer. But hey, listen, it is what it is. And using your phone as your wallet requires you to keep the batteries charged, right? Because if the batteries are not charged, then you're really stuck big time. Okay, it's one of those things where you are asking yourself, how do I get things done properly? But overall, yeah, those are the three top limitations to using the Apple Pay. So overall, think about Apple Pay as a wallet-less digital payment platform that that, I mean, when you think about Apple Pay, think about a response to the Android Pay that Google developed, because Google first came up with Android Pay, and Apple Pay needed to find a response to it, and they did. Okay, Android Pay is a wallet-less digital payment platform designed by Google, and Android Pay allows customers to download the app to an Android phone, add credit, debit, gift, and loyalty card information, and use an Android phone instead of a card to tap and pay. And wallets and cards can be left at home, so that's pretty good. The app also keeps your customers' information secure, as card information is not sent with payment. So it's kind of similar to Apple Pay in that sense, okay? And now, how do you use Android Pay? Well, kind of similar to Apple Pay, by the way. Simply tap a card reader as you would with your credit card, but using a phone instead, okay? And so both mobile devices and cards have an embedded chip that communicates with your terminal using NFC radio technology. Secure payment information is transmitted during the purchase. Kind of similar. It's kind of similar to Apple Pay, okay? And your customers can use Apple Pay or Android Pay to actually pay. It really depends on how you set things up. Big question is, how much does it actually cost you to actually accept Apple Pay? The short answer to that question is that it costs nothing, zero, zilch. Basically, transactions are handled using the traditional interchange rates associated with your customer's credit card. Okay, there are therefore no additional fees to merchants. So if you're a merchant, listen to me right now. It doesn't matter if you are in New York, you are in California, you are in Florida. No matter where you are at, the state, the county doesn't really matter. On top of that, it doesn't really matter also whether you have a brick and mortar store or you are accepting payments on the go. So the flexibility and efficiency really lies in there, because the whole thing you are doing here is that you are allowing your customers to actually pay like in an easier fashion. So it's all about efficiency from let's say a revenue point of view. You are increasing your sales. You are making it easier for customers to actually check out. That's really good. You do not want to have long queues in your store anyway. Okay, so that's really good. Now, having said that, there could be some cost associated with the POS you have, because see, for you to have the NFC technology, you still have to have let's say a POS, a point of sale system, right? And that point of sale system usually comes with monthly billings, like monthly subscriptions, $30, $40, or $50. I don't know, but it really depends on the kind of processor you have. But long story short, the good thing is that you have the possibility to actually streamline your cash inflows and cash outflows real fast by accepting Apple Pay this year. So there are no costs coming from Apple. Apple ain't charging you anything at all to to actually use their app. It's actually a convenience feature for them for them to encourage more use. So that's really good. So from a scalability point of view, that's really fantastic. What I wanted to say also is that if you're thinking about transactional costs, everything has to revolve around the transactional volume you have every single month. So your cost will depend on that too, because if you have a large amount of transactions, and also if you have frequent transactions versus rare transactions, then you have possibility to get things done a lot faster and actually to pay more as well. So if you are a merchant and you want to accept Apple Pay, the process is very straightforward. As a merchant, all you need is a terminal that supports NFC. That's what I said a little earlier. It has to support an NFC, so there are costs associated with that. So you just need a terminal that supports NFC. Most terminals now support near field payments, and merchants are able to automatically accept Apple Pay through those terminals. And transactions work the same way as any other tap transaction as long as your terminal supports NFC. Your business will be able to accept Apple Pay transactions. So just make sure before you actually sign up with a payment provider, make sure that you have a terminal that supports NFC. Now, how do you actually accept contactless payments? Basically, it is becoming increasingly common for customers to pay with digital wallets and other payment methods, such as a contactless chip card. Okay, so you have debit cards, you have credit cards, you have tap to pay on iPhone. So when you think about debit cards can still be used to make a contactless purchase with tap to pay. However, some financial institutions, including some credit unions, do not offer NFC enabled cards or mobile wallet options such as Apple Pay or Google Pay. So debit cards they have credit rails, meaning they have the Mastercard or Visa symbol on the card, can be used similarly to credit cards for digital wallet payments. That's really good, and so they can be used to tap to pay. However, if you process a physical debit card, it will be processed as a normal debit card and can require, in some cases, PIN. So you might have to input your PIN code. You also have credit cards. So credit cards such as Visa, they offer more options for customers to make contactless payments. Online banking makes it very easy to load cards into a mobile wallet or copy and paste credit card details into apps. So that's pretty good in terms of flexibility. And this makes it a lot easier than ever before to tap to pay, whether through a tokenized card or through a mobile app, which might really allow customers to rack up and redeem rewards for certain businesses. So this is kind of cool. So in today's age, consumers use contactless technology to pay for everything from public transit fare to lunch. Okay, that's really the thing. So you want to really use tap and pay in your business because you have faster transactions, you have the ability to accept walletless customers, and you also have secure transactions. So that's really powerful. So here are my any remarks here. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about Apple Pay and how it does work. I give you the generalities, the pros and cons, other information, and now the any remarks. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.